Let's talk Charlotte 49ers athletics. As some big news came out late last week as athletic director Mike Hill was fired just 13 months after getting an extension. Odd timing, to say the least, as the program continues to struggle in both football and men's basketball, the two sports that bring in the bucks for any university. Joining us now to talk more about the turmoil over in University City is Hunter Bailey, who helps cover all things 49ers with the Highway 49 podcast, as well as a freelance writer for the Charlotte Observer. Hunter, thank you for joining us here on The Point After.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. It's been a fun season, you could say, but we'll see how it goes, man.
Yep. First off, let's talk Mike Hill. What is your take on this week after all the big news that happened out there with Mike Hill?
Definitely. If you're going to make the decision to extend someone through 2030, I mean, we're talking a 4-year extension, over $2 million in buyout now. You're looking at someone that's, like I say, you're paying him over $2 million now. You're going to make that decision. You move on from him just 6 games in after he hires head coach Tim Albin, his 3rd football hire. So questionable on that front, why you would make that decision now. Like I say, the biggest deal, my conversation with Chancellor Gaber, is the NIL side of things, the money. What is going to get these athletes on the field for the Charlotte 49ers and the court? We're going to talk basketball here in a minute. NIL, huge deal, as I said, around $1.4 million on this roster, going against teams like South Florida at the top of the league with around $8 million in roster construction. So Charlotte's paying their entire team what some of these schools are paying their quarterbacks, and that's just not going to cut it in this league. You understand that. When you make a step up Conference USA to the American, you're seeing these teams competing for the college football playoff, having a chance to make this new 12-team playoff. It can be done. Charlotte has to find ways to raise that money, and I think that's the biggest factor in this decision, Nate.
Yeah, Charlotte does pretty well in the non-revenue sports or the Olympic sports, but in the 2 major sports that bring in the cash, they are struggling. Let's start with football, as they are 1-6 under Coach Tim Albin. I'm going to keep this question kind of broad because there's a lot of reasons, but what is going on with this football program besides the NIL? Because we know that's a big piece, but what else on the field is going wrong for this team?
Definitely, and in the first spot, circle it, the CVS receipt, injuries. It's to a point you're missing your starting quarterback for the season, your center's banged up, he's kind of the heart and soul of the team, your best edge rusher, your best running back. They're not playing with a stacked deck, and that's part of it. And when you know the talent deficit is there, we talked about the NIL, the injuries just kind of compound, and you're seeing them play with a 2nd and a 3rd string quarterback every week. And it's to a point where you're wondering, okay, we know Tim Albin is a good head coach, the most proven head coach that they've had here, 3 straight years with 10 or more wins in the MAC, a couple of MAC coaches of the year, and a conference championship. Charlotte's never done any of that. You've got the guy, you've got the proven guy, get him the assets he needs because he's a better coach than 1-6 says, and I think they're going to have to find ways to prove that on the field.
Real quickly, let's talk a little bit of basketball. They struggled last year. They're picked to finish last again this year. With the new AD coming in real soon, how big of a season is this for Aaron Fern? And is there any reason for optimism with this new team? Because he's got a lot of new players on this roster.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's to a point where the AD kind of is scary for both Albin and Fern, right? Yeah. You're going to make this move. Albin 6 games in. I wonder what he's thinking about this. Exactly. With Aaron Fern, now you're in your 2nd full season. He was an interim for a year. Mike Hill promoted him from that interim two seasons ago when they had the most success they've had in over 20 years. Now this roster is completely reloaded, retooled. Zane Mingo coming in from Marshall will be this team's best player. He's more of a pass-first guard. He's going to get his buckets, but he's not a high-volume 3-point shooter. So a lot of guys coming in, a lot of guys coming up. You see a lot of programs that want to focus on the Power 4, Power 5 bounce backs. These are guys coming up from FCS, FBS, mid-major schools to play for the 49ers. So I'm excited to see what happens. It can only be better than last year. They're going to win more than 3 conference games. Yeah. Will it be that level, top 3rd in the American like it was 2 seasons ago with Lakai Patterson, Igor Milicic, Deshaun Jackson? That's to be seen, but they've got guys and they've got size. And watch out for Anton Bonk coming in from Providence, 7'2", rim protector, because they need someone to control this paint, man.
Yeah. He is Hunter Bailey of the Highway 49 podcast. Hunter, thanks for joining us on The Point After.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.